Hello, Tony here for Sprint8. I'm going to try and make this quick because my other videos have been super long. Right, so sorry about the whole being silent for a little while. Well, I've done a lot of work to try and catch up here. I'm just going to pretty much just show off the savable system, say probably a little bit of demo too, just by seeing it through the saving system. Um, but yeah, saving system is in a pretty good place, I think, right now. Obviously, you're the judge of that, so let me know if I'm very much not in the right place, or if I'm close, or pretty good. Thumbs up, thumbs down in the grading part. Although, yeah, anyway, saving system. Right, so I'm just going to go through the document. This is just the usage section. If you want to read more on like specific classes, just read that. It's probably going to go through some changes in the next week or so, obvious reasons. I'm definitely going to flesh it out a bit more and make it a little more detailed, especially on some of the classes that I haven't really finished working on yet, towards the bottom. And I want to add in a UML diagram because I've still only got the old one from my last prototype. Anyway, so first step to using my saving system is to inherit from the savable class, which is in my package of things that the user should include from Atom Core. Just just like Azul Core, like it includes Azul Core. Anyway, so then the second step is to register with the saving system, similar to any of the other examples except templatized. So that well, I'll show you why in a little bit once we get to the code. Right. Second step is to fill out the user-defined functions, which is the save to file and load from file. So these are uh, inherited from the savable class, user-defined. So this is where the user will take save data and load data, which are the two more functions that I provide through the savable class. These are not to be overwritten by the user. These are templatized so that you can put in whatever data you want, with the given that if you're putting in something that has pointers to other objects, obviously those objects will not be saved. The user will have to specifically specify those objects to be saved because, um, yeah, it'll only save the over. I'll show you in a second once we get to the serializing, deserializing. Yeah. Anyway, actually, let's just look at the user side. So what the user is going to do is they're going to define save to file and load file. So for simplicity's sake, and because it makes good visuals, I decided to have the player save their position and rotation. Right. So then I load it out in the same order. And by the way, these are references to the this is a variable that would be user defined because it's a variable I have in the player tank class just to keep the position rotation for and modify it for the through the inputs and whatnot. So yeah, this is not something that you get through the savable class. This is you could put anything in here, any sort of variable, or if you want to just create a temporary to put it in, fine too. Yeah. So then you load it back out, and it will give you back in the variable you give it, um, whatever information it saved previously. Also, you can, as a side benefit, you can put other stuff in here, such as changing the rotation of all the all the classes attached to the player tank, just camera, because you don't need to save those. This is the same rotation. but they do need to be changed when you change the rotation. Yeah. Right. So here's an example of registering. So this is the enemy tank registers, and it's templatized, which you'll see why in a bit. Deregister same way. Right. Oh, also I should note that, so this is how you trigger the whole save to file thing. It's just in Savable Manager, there's a function that's called, and then you tell it what save file you want to save to or load from, and this just changes a number in the that's converted to a string, which is then used to read out the file name or create the file name. So then it would just be save 1, save 2, save 3, so on and so forth. So you can have as many saves as you want. Currently, there's no hard cap. I may change that, but I don't see a reason to. Right. So, yeah. Oh, also I should note that this is not in every single class. For example, the enemy tank does not have it. This is triggered once, meant to be triggered once, ideally through like some sort of menu. Like you just have a button that's like save to save slot 1, and then it would trigger every object that's registered in the scene to save. But they have to be registered. So you don't want to save it because not everything needs to be saved, like bullets, for example. You don't want to save. Well, you might want to, and you can if you want to. You just have to register them. In this case, I did not because no need. Okay, so let's take a look at save. Right. So there is, registration, deregistration, fairly standard. Although this is capitalized. Interesting note. We've got our save data and load data. So these are the functions that are used by the user here. Right. So basically, they just call a serialized function in Savable Manager. And yeah. Oh, also, something to note is that I do have the references saved so that there's easy access back to like deregister and delete themselves from the list in the savable group. Which, speaking of savable group, let's take a look. So this is similar to the groups from the collision system, but also different. So there's the main difference being these functions here to save all the objects that it has inside of it. So also each savable group will represent a specific user-defined class that is registered to save. So every time a class is, show that in a second here. So yeah, basically every time a class is registered to save, it will check and like, okay, so we'll take the name of that class, which this is really cool. I found this on the internet. Yay, internet. Yeah, so type ID.name will give you the name of the class, which is really neat. I was pretty like blown away by this. Also works with templates, which is the whole. This is kind of what part of the system's built on. For yeah. So yeah. Oh, look for that class name. It'll be like, okay, do we already have one? If we don't, then we'll go through this big chunk here to create a new savable group, and of course put it in there. So yeah, then each savable group will have a string of the class name, which will be whatever the user made it. In my case, I chose to name my player tank, enemy tank. That's what will be here, or what it will get here, which I think is cool. I'm very proud of this system. Very, very. Anyway, so the register is pretty simple because we have a reference to the savable group and a reference to the collection, the actual list entry in the collection. Right, so we got serialized and deserialized here. Pretty similar to what they were in the last prototype. A little while ago. Except that this here I'm keeping track of the position, and I'm not opening and closing the file every time. So yeah, now we got to keep track of the position because we got multiple different classes that we and like headers and stuff. So yeah, got that. Right. So here's where it gets really interesting. We've got the save game, which is triggered when you call to save the game, and what it does is it opens a file, sets position to 0, and then it will go through each savable group in the list, or well, map really, and it will serialize the name of the class, which is the key in the which is also the key in the map of the savable groups. So that's nice and easy. And then it will go to the actual savable group and trigger its save all, which will then trigger the user's time function. This function again, saves file, in case you forgot. Yeah, and that'll trigger that, and for every single version of or every single one of that class that is registered. So yeah, and it'll just go through this for loop so that it will go to each savable group and then tell it to go through each object that it has in its list. So yeah, and then we close the file and we're done. Also, because I'm a good boy, clean up all the savable groups. Yay, memory management. Anyway, here's where it gets really interesting. We got the load game. So counterpart to here. Also should note, here's the save number, which then creates the file name, which attached to the file path, and yeah, that's how you get the file name. And all right, let's finish this up real quick. So yeah, on the other end, when you load it back out, you have to read out the name properly, and then we check the. This is actually why the savable group isn't a map, is because then we take the name that we read out that was saved, because if you have like a number, the registration order changes because for whatever reason, then stuff will be out of order and it will screw up the whole system. So I decided that because you can actually get a string for the name, to just save that instead. So we got the name of the class. We just find that, and then we will load all the saved we'll call it, yeah, all the saved data into those, and it will distribute them out as you would expect. Right. So I can't remember if I actually showed it off. I don't think I've actually showed it off yet. What am I doing? What am I doing? All right. So, oh yeah, I also added some AI. They start in idle state and then they chase it to a certain distance and then they shoot. Well, actually, they shoot while they're chasing too. But yeah, so I'm gonna trigger one or hitting the one key here so that it's triggering the save overall. Right. Let's move over here. This actually makes it nice and obvious because a little randomization there. I actually think I moved out of their shoot radius. Maybe I should up that. Anyway, still tweaking the whole level stuff, and the terrain is in a scene while I fix the collision for it. Anyway, hitting 2 to reset, and woo, amazing! Everything reloads, just works. So if I go over here, have them chase me around, and here. And if I want, I can save like over here for example. And then, oh, we're here now. Back to, yeah, anyway. Yeah. So, yeah, pretty neat and all that. Managed to make this video slightly shorter, but still very long. Anyway, a few other things I should show. I have been working on some more models for the, besides the terrain and the tanks and whatnot. I think there's another tank I was looking at, but here's a building I found. Some house. Actually, not too many polys for how good it looks, which is nice. And it comes with a cool texture. That's a one texture, so I don't have to screw around with multiple textures. One texture. I didn't have time to incorporate into the scene. Plus, this is kind of just all the test bed for savable system. But yeah, it's catching up, getting some stuff done on the game. It's happening. Right. So I think I'm gonna end the video here. I don't have anything else that I need to talk about. Right. Yeah. Let me know if you have any problems with my save system. Because this is the last time I get feedback from you. Well, I suppose I could ask for more feedback later. Anyway, yeah, please let me know with all the how much is good for the saving system. 'Cause obviously, I'm gonna add more stuff to it. I was planning on adding like some wrapper classes for the actual save files themselves, so that the user can get and save like specific information about each save file. That's definitely that, and like improving some of the loading stuff is probably the next step I want to take. And if I have more time somehow, I'll look into some other stuff. Right, so I'm ending the video here. It's too long. Thank you very much.